St. Padre Pio wrote in his letter, referring to the future French monarch, and this is so important: the love of the heart of royal France and of the kingship of Christ, which descends from King David, will rise in the heirs of King Louis XVI, and for the love of Christ's kingship has its cradle in France, its kingship of love and humility. Love and humility are the power of divine love. That's from St. Padre Pio. But the most important thing that he says there, if I'll just read it back over again: the love of the heart of royal France and of the kingship of Christ, which descends from King David. So what you have there, St. Padre Pio, showing people that the public, and not only is this prophetic, but this is also biblical. There's a very good saying: for a country that forgets its past, it has no future. Just like Ireland, if Ireland forgets the famine and what its people did, it will never secure its future. It'll lose its faith. So France, the future French monarch, his name is Henry V. de Croix, Henry V of the Cross. He is in hiding at this present moment in time, and there's certain things which can be revealed and certain things which can't be revealed for his safety. He is in hiding at this present moment in time, and only a handful of people know who he is. He's wise, humble, just, and our Lord has graced him with many, many, many blessings. Our Lady has also anointed him with a perpetual suffering as well. His bloodline goes right back to, as Bob and you alerted to, King Louis XVI, who was executed after the French Revolution. King Louis XVI was executed during the French Revolution. 6 months later, they then executed his wife, Marie Antoinette. They had 3 children. The daughter went to Quebec, France. One of the children died of pneumonia, and the eldest son, Louis XVII, was put in the dungeon. Now, the French Republic then said that the son died, but Our Lady revealed the different mystics and seers that the son, as Bob said, was taken away. So the son, Louis XVII, is the son who was taken in the 1800s, which is only 220 years ago, and his bloodline runs on till today. This is the bloodline of the French king. So the French king in hiding now, Henry V of the Cross, goes back to Louis XVI, whose bloodline goes right back to King Pepin, which goes right back to the anointing that King Clovis got in this cathedral in 496. Now, the reason why they say that this is the reason why France is known as the eldest daughter of the church, because the king protected the throne, who protected the altar. So from the first king of France, King Clovis, right through to the last king of France, Louis XVI, the Republic then put on a King Louis Charles X, who reigned until 1830. But if you take a look at France's history, these are the doors now that opened, and the dove came in with the holy oil in its beak, and Saint Remy was able to anoint the king with the holy oil. The future French king may be consecrated there with the same oil, but there's a very distinct possibility that it may have to be done in hiding, in secret, because of if the synagogue of Satan, if the powers to be, the Freemasons, found out who he was, where he was, or this was getting done, they would kill him. So,
wow.
So from 496, every king of France, this is why France is known as the eldest daughter of the church. King Clovis was the first king of France, and then the succession of kings after that were called like King Louis. The reason being why is Louis means son of God. For example, one of the queens of France, Queen Blanche, was barren, couldn't have children, got the whole of France. They were all converted to Catholicism, got the whole of France. They prayed the rosary. She fell pregnant, had her son. Louis was born, they called him, and that's why a lot of the kings were called King Louis, which is son of God. So then we fast forward from 496 to 1337. This is the inside of the cathedral in Reims. I was there a few weeks ago, and to be present there, they stand where 34 kings of France had all been consecrated with the holy oil, was something very, very, very special. Now, the reason why Joan of Arc statue is outside is we have to fast forward from 496, right, which is 496 right through to 1337. 1337 was the 100-Year War where England and Wales invaded France. France had lost 3/4 of its country. God intervened by sending the Archangel Michael, St. Catherine of Alexandria, and St. Margaret of Antoinette to St. Joan of Arc, 14 years of age, illiterate, had never seen the king before. They told Joan of Arc, you have to take the king, the Dauphin. The Dauphin is the next in line to be king, because England had overtaken 3/4 of France. The king couldn't get the Reims to be consecrated. And the Archangel Michael basically told Joan of Arc, you have to take the king, Charles VII, take him to France, the Reims to be consecrated, like all the kings before him, to keep France on its divine mission. And its divine mission is the fulfillment of the coming of the French king. So Joan said, I don't even know what he looks like. I'm illiterate. I don't even have a horse. How am I going to do this when the whole of France is burning with the English and the Welsh? And Joan of Arc said it was like a drum beating in her ear. Do what you're told. Do what you're told. She went, got a horse, and travelled 150 leagues in 1412 to the king's castle. Went to the king's castle, walked under the king's castle, and the king, there was prophecies back then in 1400 saying that a virgin from Lorraine would come and save France. So the king, knowing the prophecy, dressed up as one of the servants, put the servant on the throne. And when Joan of Arc came into the castle, there was 200 people there, all the knights. Joan of Arc was able to look at the throne and say, look at the boy on the altar. She looked around the castle, pointed to the king and walked over to him and said, you are the king. And she whispered in his ear a secret that only he knew. The secret was he doubted his kingship and legitimacy. But she told him that the King of Heaven has sent me to tell you something that only you know, that nobody else in the world knows. And she told him a secret. And once she told him the secret, he made her the commander of the army. For the first time in history, a 17-year-old girl, farm girl, illiterate, was made the commander of the French army. And she led the whole army out, destroyed the English in the Battle of Lorraine. She then took the king, like all the previous kings of France, to Reims to be consecrated with the holy oil, the Sainte Employee. But then we know that the French sold her to the English. The English burnt her at the stake. When they burnt her at the stake, the only thing was left was her heart was still beating. Beating. And they threw it in the river. The reason why this is all so important for her is because they know the future. We have to know the past. So this is why God sent this king. This king then was consecrated, and the kingship, King Francis' divine mission lived on. And this is why then, in 1789, the Freemasons started the French Revolution. It wasn't the People's Revolution. This was a demonic, satanic, Freemasonic revolution. They attacked the throne. They attacked the king, who protected the throne, who protected the altar. What the devil wanted to do with the French Revolution was cut the head. Whenever he cut the head of the king, Louis XVI, he tried to cut off the bloodline.
Wow. And
the bloodline, his son Louis XVII, who they said that they killed, escaped from the dungeon with knights. Our Lady said knights came in and took Louis XVII, his son, away. His bloodline lives on to today. Now this is the climax of it all. You have the future French king in hiding, who goes back to Louis XVII, who was in the dungeon, whose father was Louis XVI, who was beheaded, who goes right back to the first king of France, King Clovis. Then we listen to what St. Padre Pio says. The bloodline goes back to King David. Then we go back to the Old Testament. We go to where King David was anointed, Samuel 2:16 and 2 Kings as well. King David was anointed, as we know, as the Davidic covenant. From the Davidic covenant, you have 2 kings before him, Saul and another king, and then you have King David from the race of Jesse. From King David, you then have King David right through come Joseph and Mary. Joseph and Mary both come from the Davidic covenant, and Jesus comes from the Davidic covenant. This is known as the Messianic covenant. Now, the anointing that was given by the prophet Nathan to King David is the same spiritual anointing that was given to King Clovis. This bloodline, this lineage is called the line of Christ. And this is why France is being attacked with a Muslim invasion. Second of all, this is why France is known as the eldest daughter of the church. Ireland is known as guardians of the faith. This is why Ireland has been the first country in the world they vote for same-sex marriage, euthanasia, by abortion, etc., etc., etc. The three prime targets of Satan are: 1, Israel, the land of Israel; 2, France, the eldest daughter of the church; and 3, Ireland, the guardians of the faith. That is basically this 1,500 years of 2,000 years of history, 3,000 years from King David right through to Joseph and Mary, right through to King Clovis, the first king of France, right through the why God sent Joan of Arc to save France from becoming a pagan country right before the Protestant Reformation, and right through to then why God sent Joan of Arc to save France so the future French king could then come back. And by the way, this is why the devil started the French Revolution. I know that's a lot to unpick, but I'm trying to do it as quickly as possible.
Why is Israel the first target? It might be
because
a simple question.
Because God called Israel the apple of his eye. Now, I'm not saying that the new Israel, the Israel of today, is the same Israel of the Old Testament. You know, some people say that the new Israel now is the church collectively.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but it's not just the Freemasons; it's the synagogue of Satan. It's the devil is attacking 1, Israel; 2, the new Israel; 2, Ireland, guardians of the faith; 3, France, the eldest daughter of the church. But what I really wanted to say is this: when we speak about the French king and the history of France, it's a love story. It's a story of hope. They let people know that this is the light at the end of the tunnel. The French Revolution started because the devil intervened. The synagogue of Satan attacked the kingship of France. When they cut the head of Louis XVI, they tried to kill that bloodline. But Our Lady intervened with Louis XVII and took the son away and kept him in hiding till now, to the appointed and anointed time. And so that's the history of France. And so when that French king arises, he will arise with him a true and holy pope. And it's going to be, so it's really a story.
Can you repeat that again? Sorry, when he arises,
when the French king arises, he's going to arise with a true and holy pope.
Okay, so that's the angelic pontiff.
Angelic pontiff.